pack of the matches. George had gone obediently to get these things. He could hear his mother playing the piano. Not for Elise, no, but something else he didn't like so well. Something that sounded dry and fussy. He could hear rain flickering steadily against the kitchen windows. These were comfortable sounds, but the thought of the cellar was not a bit comfortable. He did not like the cellar. He did not like going down the cellar stairs. Because he always imagined there was something down there in the dark. That was silly, of course. His father said so, and his mother said so, and even more important, Bill said so. But still, he didn't like that shit. He didn't even like opening the door to flick on the lights. Because he always had the idea there was something so exquisitely stupid he didn't dare tell anyone. That while he was feeling the light switch, some horrible clawed paw, would settle lightly over his wrist like, you know when you get caught, like someone grabs your hand from behind, you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? Yeah, that's it. But anyways, and then jerk him down into the darkness that smelled of dirt and wet and of dim, rotted vegetables, like tomatoes, potatoes. Tomato, potato. Stupid. There were no things with claws, all hairy and full of killing spite. Every now and then someone went crazy and killed a lot of people. Sometimes Chet Huntley told about things on the evening news. And of course, there were the commies. This is 1957 we're talking about. But there was no weirdo monsters living down in the cellar. Still, this idea lingered in those interminable moments while he was groping for the switch with his right hand, his left arm curled around the door jamb in a death grip. Like, that cellar smell seemed to intensify until it filled the world. Smells of dirt and wet and long gone vegetables, potatoes, tomatoes, potatoes, would merge into one unmistakable and ineluctable smell. The smell of the monster. The apotheosis of all monsters. Yeah. It was the smell of something for which he had no name. The smell of it. Crouched and lurking and ready to spring. A creature which would eat anything but which was especially hungry for boy meat. Who likes boy meat? Whoa. Stephen King, you dirty guy. He had opened the door that morning and had groped interminably for the switch, holding the jam in his usual death grip. His eyes clenched shut. The tip of his tongue poked from the corner of his mouth like an agonized rootlet searching for water in a place of drought. Funny. Sure. You betcha. Look at you, Georgie. Georgie's scared of the dark. What a baby. The sound of the piano came from what his father called the living room and what his mother called the parlor. It's like the same shit, right? Living room, parlor? Like, right?
No.
Yeah, you're right. Or are they talking like the entryway?
Parlor's an entryway.
Is that so? That's the same thing. A parlor. Yeah, okay. Entryway. It sounded like music from another world, far away. The way talk, and laughter on a summer crowded beach must sound to an exhausted swimmer who struggles with the undertow. His fingers found the switch. Ah, they snapped it. Nothing. No light. Oh, cripes, the power. Georgie snatched his arm back as if from a basket filled with snakes. Snakes in my grass. Ow. He stepped back from the open cellar door, his heart hurrying in his chest. The power was out. Of course, he had forgotten the power was out. Jeezly, Crow. What now? Go back and tell Bill he couldn't get the box of paraffin because the power was out, and he was afraid that something might get him as he stood on the cellar stairs. Something that wasn't a commie or a mass murderer, but a creature much worse than them. Even worse than them. That it would simply slither part of its rooted self up between the stair risers and grab his ankles. That would go over big, wouldn't it? Others might laugh at such a fancy, but Bill wouldn't laugh. Bill would be mad. Bill would say, "Grow up, Georgie. Do you want this boat or not? Dude, come on, I'm your big bro. I'm trying to make you this boat. Just go down there and get you the paraffin. We can seal it up. You can just stroll right down the street." And if this thought were his cue, Bill called his bedroom. Did you die out there, Georgie? No, I'm getting it, Bill. Georgie called out at once. He rubbed at his arms, trying to make the guilty goose flesh disappear and be smooth skin again. I think he's talking about goosebumps. Bubbles?
Yeah. Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, that's it. Goose skin? Goose flesh? What the fuck?
Depends on what part of the country you're in.
Maine? He grew up in Maine?
Yeah, that part of the country they're going to say flesh.
Goose flesh?
Yes.
I called it goosebumps, so grew up in the Midwest. That's the East Coast. What a douche. You ever say goose flesh? You say goose flesh? Put it in the comments. No. I don't give a fuck. I just stepped to get a drink of water. There followed a whisper conversation of the sort, which means very little to anyone save small boys. Accusations of who was the biggest a-hole, who had the biggest a-hole, which a-hole was the brownest, and so on. Finally, Bill said one of the forbidden words. He accused George of being a big, brown, shitty asshole. A-hole. Sorry. Excuse my French.
You already said fuck.
Anus hole.
I don't think he's saying asshole's gonna matter.
And they both got laughing hard. Bill's laughter turned into a coughing fit as it finally began to taper off. But then Bill's face had a gone and plummy shade which George regarded with some alarm. The piano stopped again. Mom stopped playing. We both went in the direction of the parlor, listening for the piano bench to scrape back, listening for their mother's impatient footsteps. Will hurried. Will buried his mouth in the crook of his elbow, stifling the last of the coughs. Pointing at the pitcher at the same time, George poured him a glass of water, which he drank off. The piano began once more for Elise again. Stuttering Will never forgot that pace, and even many years later never failed to bring goose flesh bumps to his arms and back. His heart would drop, and he would remember, "My mother was playing that day Georgie died." You gonna cough anymore, Bill? No. Bill pulled a Kleenex from the box, made a rumbling sound in his chest. Spat! Flam! As Will goes outside and spits on the floor into a tissue, screwed it up, tossed it into the waste basket. wastebasket. Here, smoke this, bitch. Then he opened up a box of paraffin and dropped a waxy cube onto the stuff into his palm. Georgie watched him closely. Okay. We're going to take a break right here, fellas. Gents. Ladies.
You messing up his stream.
Bill pulled a Kleenex from the box, page 10, of your mom. Because she's it.